What's up, YouTube? Yeah, that's how we do it. Welcome to my channel, NBA, not basketball again with chefboryar-Dboi. Ready for the show? Then hit that like, comment below, we having fun tonight. Share the video, cause it's fire as hell. Don't get left out, hit the notification bell. Boom! Now let's get to it, back with a banger. This is how we do it, create content for my gang and chicks. Talk my shit like I walk it, bitch. Channel so wet, you can soak the game. Enjoy the show, I'm so glad you came.
It's showtime.
What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another banger / classic video. So, game 4. Warriors go down by 7 heading into the 4th. Game on the line. Steph Curry goes off for 18 in the 4th. 32 for the game. Max Kellerman's argument that the greatest shooter ever to play the game. And he broke another record last night by hitting his 500 3-pointer in the postseason, making him the first player to ever do it. Is not in the all-time top 10 greats until he steps up his playoff play, which I don't have a problem with his game in the 2019 NBA Finals against the Raptors. So does this help change your Curry assessment, Max Kellerman? When Clay and Poole combined goes for 0 for 10 from beyond the arc. Wiggins 1 for 5 from deep, where the Warriors just shot 24% for the game. Grizzlies had this game in the bag. Not only do they win without an injured John Morant, but they regain home court advantage if they can hold off the struggling to make a bucket Warriors for 12 more minutes. Beginning of the 4th, 11:41 remaining. Steve Adams puts the Grizzlies up by 9 with a pass for Bane, and then this happens. With 8:37 remaining to the end of regulation, Stephen Curry enters the game in Mark Jackson's vintage modes. Less than a minute goes by. Curry with the bucket and 1, cutting the lead to 4, but misses the free throw. Then drains 1 from beyond the arc with the pass from Draymond, cuts the lead to 3. Curry for 3 with bang! Warriors down by 1. 14-foot step back with the pass from Poole. Tight ball game. Curry with the shot. Foul. 6 them both. Warriors up by 1. Jerry Jackson misses the floater. Rebound Curry. Bang. Loose ball foul. Curry sinks the first one. 6 a pair. Warriors go up 3. Timeout Grizzlies. Should have been caught it. 19 seconds left. Dylan Brooks takes a personal foul. Curry nails them both. Jackson from 3, blocked by Draymond. Jackson commits the personal foul. Curry makes them both. Warriors up by 5. Jackson, who's had the high hand all game, for beyond the arc. Brick. Adams commits the personal foul. Wiggins splits a pair. Brooks for 38 feet. Swish, but it's too late. Steph Curry shows Max Kellerman that he's clutch in the playoffs. Warriors command a 3-1 lead over the Grizzlies. Shout out to all my subscribers. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub, like, and notification button. The Chef Boryar-Dboi, and I'm gone. Bye. And if you feel like listening to the 8+ minutes of Steph hating by Max Kellerman, it starts in...
It's showtime.
Musicians, I love it.
Why mess around?
Yeah.
Why I'm going to construct something like, well, it's interesting, and let me somehow make this blend into that. Just say it. What are we
Well
doing
said.
here?
Here we go. Pivot. Let's do it.
Here's-
to the NBA.
Here is my theory, okay?
Let's get it.
And people hate when I say it's big for Chris Paul's legacy, but it is both ways. Like if you fail, that part of the story. If you succeed, I think Chris Paul might chip up this year. Huge for him, right? Steph Curry. who has never been a Finals MVP, has played in 5 finals.
God.
This is the fact of the matter. Who's had a lot of bad finals, like games. Like,
Jay,
for example,
Jay.
the biggest choke in history of American team
sorry,
sports,
cuz.
Game 7 at home, 4th quarter against the Cavs, okay? He just got out. The best player in the series so far has been Ja Morant. Clearly and by far, he's the best player in that series. Missed the last shot to win, so they lost Game 1. But then Memphis came back. They bullied him. Ja went for 47 and won. Now Steph's at home. I'm telling you, and Memphis doesn't have Dylan Brooks. Steph's got to win this game, and he's got to be the best player on the floor at some point, Monaco. To that, you say what?
I do think the Warriors will win this game. I'm not sold that Steph will be the best player on the floor, and it's okay.
Okay. Why wouldn't he be the best player on the floor?
I mean, if Clay, who's been in the topic of conversation as of lately, goes off, right? That's not a bad guy to be one-upped by. If the pool party should happen to continue, also something that you can deal with. It's a credit to the Warriors organization in terms of their development. Steph is a key. There's no doubt about that. But I think the nature of the Warriors system and where Steph is in his career.
Where is he in his career?
He's won already. The Finals MVP is the hang-up for you in terms of his
Yes,
legacy?
that's the hang-up for
No,
Max.
but it's
the Finals
reflective
MVP.
of the fact
That's
that
the one caveat for Max.
It's reflective of the fact that he has not been as good as he normally is as the stakes rise in the playoffs.
Okay, but he still has the hardware, and he's never left his organization. Guys want to come play with him. I hear where you're coming from.
That is a great point.
Yeah.
He's part of a team
Yeah.
that people want to play with, and he creates that atmosphere.
Right, and so in many ways, I don't know, Jay and Canty, you tell me if I'm wrong. I think in many ways, some of the guys that have the individual accolades would easily trade what Steph has been able to be a part of. And so I don't think that affects his legacy one way.
But, when you say be a part of, I just want to take people through it. 2015, they would have obviously lost to the Cavs. It went 6 games, and Kyrie and Kevin Love were out, right? It was so bad they had to give the MVP to the guy who guarded LeBron because LeBron was by so far the MVP of the series, right? They were lucky that the Cavs got hurt, or they never win that one.
Okay.
The next year, they actually lost. The following 2 years, KD comes. There's no way to lose now. You're already a great team. You add KD. You beat any team that was ever constructed. So they crushed everybody, right? But KD won the – I have not yet – and then he lost to Kawhi. I'm not holding that against him. His whole team was hurt, and he played great, but still didn't win. I have yet to see a no-excuses Steph-led Warriors team win a championship. So here, they could get stopped by Memphis now, Monica.
He did win a championship, the first
win a
championship.
championship before KD
The first
got there.
championship.
Right, but LeBron was playing with Dellavedova as his second-best player. Kyrie and Kevin Love got hurt.
Let's go back to your
We
point,
just
though.
gonna discount-
You said a Steph Curry-led team. He led team to a
no
championship.
excuses championship. It was very clear to me.
Hold on.
At the end of that
In
series,
whose opinion? These excuses come from you.
Hold
guys.
on, stop, because y'all have the whole show, so I just want to make sure I have this conversation
Yes.
before I have to go.
Yes.
I don't think that is vital. And I think when you look at the way that Steph has changed the game and the organization that he has been an absolute cornerstone to, I don't think that is absolutely vital. I think him not having to always do that is a testament to what what literally was built in Golden State around him.
one of the greatest players of all time. I'm never arguing
got
against
you.
that. I'm saying people want to put him in the top 10. Not a lot of room there, right? To me, you got to, at some point, like Jay is thinking about, can I get Steph in the top 10 all time? A lot of people think like that.
He's the greatest shooter the game has ever seen.
But you got to answer to what I'm saying, though, if you
I
want
hear
him top
where
10.
you're
But you're
from.
saying
I
the
don't
one
think it's
caveat.
important.
I'm sorry. You're saying the one caveat is him not being a Finals MVP. If he wins a 4th championship, regardless of how he gets there, Max, we like to fixate on how a player gets here, but this is about moments. So you're telling me if they get by this team and Steph doesn't have a polarizing moment, but then versus Phoenix with CP3, he does have a moment. Like you're going to hold
I'm saying
this
that they
lack of a
won't
moment?
get by Memphis if Steph doesn't start. At some point, after they just got bullied, they lost by a guy who dropped 47. Same size as Steph, by the way, Ja Morant, right? If that guy comes to your home court, Game 3, and wins a pivotal Game 3 and outplays you, I think Memphis goes on to win the series. That's
And
what I'm
you're
saying.
saying that's going to diminish Steph's value. His legacy.
It's not an issue
gonna
of diminish. It's when you talk about getting
You want
into
him
the
to
top.
be that dude.
Yes!
No question. I
I
get where
want
you're coming
Steph to
from.
be
that
I
dude.
do think
Yes.
it's necessary. To me, the fact that he's been able to be so successful without that moment, so to speak, to use your your terminology, speaks to, again, what he has. The Warriors are not the Warriors if they don't draft Steph Curry.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, you're
hear
making
you,
the best counter argument. This
Right,
is
I
this is
hear
something
you,
I understand. It's an
but,
excellent
like,
argument.
I got where you're coming from. Like, you want the NFT moment that goes crazy because Steph shut it down. I get it.
That's
don't
what
buy
an
it.
NFT is. Is that a championship?
I don't buy it.
That's what an NFT is.
It's a finals MVP?
Oh.
Wow, I just don't understand, Max, when you look at the resume, man. 2-time scoring champ. He's got 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous.
One of the greatest players of all
The
time.
only unanimous.
He's a great. First of all, he's revolutionized how you play the game.
The only unanimous MVP in the history of basketball.
And by the way, if you look back, that's
Right,
nonsense
that's not
because
enough.
that's a regular season award. And in the finals, when it mattered most, LeBron was so much better. It wasn't worth talking about.
Well,
And by the way-
Draymond getting
Go ahead,
kicked
Monica.
out for 1 game in that series was ultimately the turning
LeBron
point
also
for it.
did that.
He averaged
Got him
27
kicked
in
out.
that series, by the way. Go ahead, Monica.
This is part of the Michael Jordan argument, which I get. I get where you're coming from, and I think it's a fair argument. I personally don't subscribe. That's all.
All I'm saying is,
Meanwhile on
wait,
planet Earth, Monica.
but hold on,
Okay.
CC.
Okay.
I just want to stay on this for 1 second. I just want to clarify. You used the LeBron thing to hurt Steph.
I'm not hurting him.
LeBron.
How am I hurting him?
beat him?
You got to earn
you
into the top
used-
10.
You used the LeBron thing to diminish Steph in that moment, right? Essentially, because you're
Using
saying
it. I'm just counting stuff up. I'm just
Okay.
looking, observing, and then ranking.
is LeBron James one of the top 3 greatest players who ever
Yes.
played a game of basketball?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify that point because you're comparing him to one of the greatest players to ever do it. Maybe top 2 of all time, Michael Jordan.
But
Like,
if you're
it's-
unanimous MVP, what that ought to mean, there's no, like, in a league where the only important thing is actually the postseason, because no MVP ever comes from a non-playoff team. Most of the teams make it to the playoffs. Literally, over 50% of the teams make it to the playoffs.
Now they do.
I'm not, even then, 8 out of 15 is more than 50%. So, to not observe what happens when the games actually matter, and to say, oh, that doesn't matter, he was unanimous MVP, re-vote on that after the playoffs, he wouldn't have gotten a vote. It would have been LeBron. So even that whole, he's the first unanimous MVP, I thought they were going to win the series. I thought it would be because of Steph. They didn't, and partly it was because Steph choked in Game 7 in the 4th quarter.
I just don't like the fact that you diminish playing 82 games or somebody who's never played a game before. You don't know how hard it is to have that level every single game, every single night.
He's one of
I
the
don't
greatest
like that.
players. He's the greatest player ever, 6'3" or under, right? I get it. The game selects out for size, though.
It is a fascinating conversation because as much of a literal game changer as Steph has been, you could certainly nitpick clutch performance in the postseason.
I'm with you on that.
Which is
Yeah.
fair, but I think in the conversation of the greats, you got to look at it in totality. I'm not willing to hold that against him, especially because ultimately, more times than not, he's wound up with the hardware.
He has, again, no question.
But
You're right.
it is
You're
still
right.
a team sport.
It's
I
like me
hear you.
trying to. One of the reasons basketball is a barbershop sport, right? You talk about it like boxing, is of all the team sports, it's the easy. This is changing a little because football, the quarterback is now so important. People do this with quarterbacks. But it's the easiest team sport to reduce, even if it's unfair, to the number one character involved, right?
So-
and make it almost as though it's a fighter.
So just to stick with you on barbershop, though, because, Max, you are such an intelligent guy and you do this for a living. I do not expect to walk into a barbershop, typically, unless somebody was just listening to you, and somebody reduces Steph to what he did not do in the postseason.
But you might say, is he top 10 of all time? You might hear that, and someone say, how could he be top 10 of all time? Who are you taking out?
But I never say he's top 10 all the time. I say he's trending in that direction when it's all said and done.
Okay,
Yes.
Jay,
I
this is
gotta
wait,
get my
wait.
list in front
This
of
is
me.
what I mean, Monica. This is what I mean. Everyone always hears the negative. Oh, media guy saying he's trying to set him up for the negative. There's an upside and a downside.
got you.
Thrill of victory, agony of defeat. It's not all about the downside. There's also the upside. Let Steph beat back a young Ja, right, and get there and win the chip this year. That adds, Jay. It's not. I'm not trying to diminish him. I'm just want to observe where he lands.
But, okay, now, if the Warriors beat the Grizzlies, but Steph does not ascend to whatever level to the NFT moment, are you still not satisfied?
No, if they win, they win. My
No.
prediction is they don't win because Ja, if Steph doesn't step up, if he allows Ja to be the best player in the series, I don't think they're going to win.
I just disagree with your own assessment of yourself.
Okay.
Because I know you. I've been around. We've been together for a good year now every single day. I know what you will do if Steph does not play well and they still win. You're still going to say there's something for him to prove. I know you, Max.
Probably.
That's where the
It's
argument is
still gonna be
going,
out
yeah.
there, yeah.
Probably,
Sounds like
but
that's where it's
Monica
going.
makes a very good point. It's a team sport, and Steph, his style of play, the way he plays, his excellence has created 4 championships. Like, that has happened. I can't say that hasn't happened.
Y'all not going to let me get Monica's take on the Dylan Brooks suspension?
No, because we have to go to break. Monica, do you want to stay?
Yeah. Can I?
Look, just
She
force her
can't. She
hand.
has
Look,
things to do.
I got to do my eyelash. I got to get
okay,
up.
yeah,
Here's
you
my
can.
deal on
Okay,
Dylan Brooks' take. I mean, my thing on Dylan Brooks. I don't love the suspension. I understand it. I think compared to the Grayson Allen play, which is the closest thing, transition, take a guy out of the air. I get it. But in this series, like, you're what, an inch maybe from Brandon Clark cracking a clavicle? Was that going to be a suspension?
What did the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap!